Q8056. Which of these methods may be used to inspect fiberglass/honeycomb structures for entrapped water? A. Backlighting and acoustic emission monitoring. B. X-ray and acoustic emission monitoring. C. X-ray and backlighting. The correct answer is C. To inspect fiberglass/honeycomb structures for entrapped water, X-ray and backlighting methods can be utilized. X-ray imaging can help identify any areas where water might be entrapped within the structure. Backlighting, where a light source is placed behind the structure, can reveal the presence of water by showing shadows or watermarks. Q8057. When balsa is used to replace a honeycomb core, the plug should be cut so that A. The grain is parallel to the skin. B. It is about 1/8 inch undersized to allow sufficient bonding material to be applied. C. The grain is perpendicular to the skin. The correct answer is C. When balsa is used to replace a honeycomb core, the plug should be cut so that the grain of the balsa is perpendicular to the skin. This orientation provides the optimal mechanical properties and bonding strength between the balsa core and the skin. Q8058. When repairing puncture-type damage to a metal-faced laminated honeycomb panel, the edges of the doubler should be tapered to A. 2 times the thickness of the metal. B. 100 times the thickness of the metal. C. Whatever is desired for a neat, clean appearance. The correct answer is B. When repairing puncture-type damage to a metal-faced laminated honeycomb panel, the edges of the doubler should be tapered to 100 times the thickness of the metal. This is to ensure that the doubler is strong enough to support the load that it will be subjected to. Q8059. One of the best ways to assure that a properly prepared batch of matrix resin has been achieved is to A. Perform a chemical analysis. B. Have mixed enough for a test sample. C. Test the viscosity of the resin immediately after mixing. The correct answer is B. One of the best ways to assure that a properly prepared batch of matrix resin has been achieved is to mix enough resin to create a test sample. This test sample can then be tested to ensure that the resin has the correct properties, such as viscosity, curing time, and strength. Testing the viscosity of the resin immediately after mixing is also a good way to ensure that the resin is properly prepared. However, this test is not as comprehensive as testing a test sample. Performing a chemical analysis of the resin is not necessary to ensure that the resin is properly prepared. This type of analysis is typically only performed if there is a concern about the quality of the resin. Q8060. How does acoustic emission testing detect defects in composite materials? A. By picking up the noise of any deterioration that may be present. B. By analyzing ultrasonic signals transmitted into the parts being inspected. C. By creating sonogram pictures of the areas being inspected. The correct answer is A. Acoustic emission testing detects defects in composite materials by picking up the noise or acoustic signals generated by any deterioration that may be present within the material. These signals can be generated by various types of defects, such as delamination, fiber breakage, or matrix cracking. By analyzing the acoustic emission signals, it is possible to identify and locate defects in the composite material.